Hi there, my name is Kendrick, and today I get to interview Natalia. So Natalia, welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me here.
Yeah, for sure. Can you
Nice
please
to
let
meet you.
everyone know your full type?
My full type is I am an ESFP, uh, MF audio, consume, play, blast, sleep last, and I am so SEFI.
Gotcha. And what is your social type?
I just found out my social type and it's number 4.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, that's cool. So when you got your typing results back, I think it was 2021 that you told me you got it. What did you initially think and how did you feel? And how do you feel about it now? You know, that you got time to process it.
Yeah, I got a lot of time to process it. In 2021, I was talking back and forth with Shem before I got my typing results, before I even make the video. And I thought I was any dominant. And I thought that because I read about Myers-Briggs in the internet, and I only saw good things about the N types, so I knew I was OE. But talking to her, she made me realize, and it was like Matrix, the numbers falling to me. It was just a shock to realize that I was a sensor dominant, right? And I didn't like it at first. And when I got the type from the email, the official type, I had already had the shock. So the shock came a little before that.
I think
But
a lot of
what?
Yeah, I think a lot of ESFPs think they're ENFP because your sleep is NIFI, so you have NF sleep. So inside you are NF. So,
Uh,
if someone were to say to you, you're not NF, you'll be like, you're bullshitting me because the thing is inside you are NF, you are NIFI, you are NF inside. So like I think that's
yeah,
the biggest misconception for people is like, a lot of people type themselves as their sleep animal. And you're not wrong. It is you are NF inside, just like your SF when you're consumed, ST with your play, and NT with your blast. So, like all four of those parts is you. Like they're all you. It's not just one, you know. Um,
yeah.
so I think
But
that's
the interior functions are the ones we feel, sorry, are the ones we feel more, right? The introverted functions. I get what you say. I never thought about that, why I thought I was NF inside.
Yeah, 100%. Like so many ESFPs hate being typed as ESFP. They want to be like an N dominant. And then I just tell them, you guys are NF inside. Like you are N inside. So and also the other thing also is like, well, if you want to be seen for your NF, why don't you talk in NF? Why don't you use SF and ST as much and use your NF because you have it. So, so be seen for who you are. Um, but
Yeah, exactly.
I
But
want to
it's
start
fun.
with sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. You can ask and I'll answer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so we just have like I guess a delay because you're in Brazil, I'm in Canada, so I think it's a
Yeah,
delay happening. Um,
overseas.
can you please share how you personally experienced your first animal, which is double masculine SF consumed? So your first animal is double masculine. Please share.
Yeah. Um, I feel that it's very is there such a word as ferocious, like something an animal that likes to eat a lot, to eat everything it finds. So I feel like that it's very clear to me that I am consumed on it. It was very clear before I got into the double masculine, I think, means that I grab things like forcefully. If I want something, it's very easy to see that with food when I have to compete for food, like with friends and stuff. I don't give in. I don't give in that area. I'm just very angry or masculine. And
Yeah,
the fact that it is SF makes it, I think, more animalistic, right? It's just more direct, more natural. Just a little bit of chaos. I'm gonna close the door because my dog is barking as I predicted.
sure.
One
Yeah, no
second.
worries.
Sorry. Just to show people what an ESFP is sleep less in real life.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah. Every time I interview an EP, they're doing something chaotic, which is good. That's what people need to need to see anyway. Like, you know.
Yeah, I'm very ashamed of doing such a thing, but I thought, oh well.
Yeah. I think that's a good
Yeah.
thing about the interview is you're supposed to be yourself. So just do what you're supposed to be. Like, um, I want to talk about your. So basically, I'm gonna kind of move past faster for the first three animals, but I want to go deep in your last animal, okay? Because that's the interior one. So in the social type, okay. So your second animal is.
I want to find out about that animal more because I
Yeah,
don't know much about it.
yeah, for sure. We'll discuss about that in more detail. Let's talk about your second animal, double activated ST play. Okay. Um, this is the one that you use the most, more than your first animal actually, because it's double activated. Can you please share how you see yourself using it on a regular basis?
Yes, I had a doubt in my mind if it was T because it's very present, probably because it's double activated. And I explain things to people very rationally when I talk, like I'm doing right now. I'm very good at teaching, not very good, I like doing it. So I need the person to understand what I'm talking about and to get everything that I'm saying like a teacher would. It has to do also with the sensory dominance. But the ST play, double activated, I think appears in my need to process things in the moment, like I'm doing right now. I don't know about my animals a lot. I haven't spent a lot of time thinking about it, but I'm doing it right now. So I think the ST play appears in when I am in the right circumstance talking to people. I need to have another person in front of me to think. It's really hard for me to think alone. I have to teach someone. I have to, I don't know, I have to have a person present to receive the information, to learn from the person.
I guess you're using the SE to gather facts from the tribe, and the TE is kind of like logic blocking it in the sense like you're trying to figure out, you know, will this work? You know, for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
It's TE, right? So
Right.
and you're also
Yeah.
number 4, so you're double activated friends on top of double activated play. So that is like a
Team, right?
straight flush. Oh, I think
I
we
think I
froze.
lost connection.
I can hear your audio, but your video is not moving.
Technical difficulties.
Here.
Hello.
Okay, we're back.
We're back.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Anyways, back to the comment at hand. I mentioned that you are double activated play and your save your friends. So your friends is getting double activated also. So can you share a little bit about like being lead friends and having double activated play? How it's like, oh, perfect. I'm already double activated play and you love people. Can you share a little bit about like being like high friends?
Yeah. I never thought I would be a 4. Not never, but I thought I was gonna be number 3 because I feel very outwardly people see me as serious and not very playful. But then something you said in an interview that I saw like made a lot of sense, which is whenever I am in a place where I feel like I belong, where I'm accepted and I am authorized to be playful and interact, then I can show all my friendliness. I don't know if there's such a word, but so I'm very serious and reserved when I don't feel comfortable until I understand what kind of environment I'm in. So that's why I thought I was not friendly, that I didn't have the friends for me. But whenever I am for instance, I play tennis, I have made a lot of friends in the tennis environment. People see me as friendly, as outgoing, as an extrovert, but in other areas like my job, I'm not so much that way for people that don't know me so well. So it's not that I am a number 4. What I thought about number 4s was that they were those people that were very popular, which I was not. I'm only popular in the circles where I can manifest that side of myself.
I think the other reason why you're serious also is because you're info dom. So like,
oh yes,
yeah, the info doms tend to be more serious than the energy dom. Like we are obsessed with the information and we don't want to joke around too much just to ruin the flow of the conversation. It's not like we
sure.
can't goof around. We can. There's definitely a time and place, especially both of us. We do have play activated, double activated for both of us. So we can do that at the right place, especially if it's like a social circle that we're comfortable with. But I think our default is the consume and blast, which is exchange of information and being serious about the data and the information. So we could come across as more serious than the energy dom who might get upset at us because we are too obsessed with talking about serious topics instead of, being goofy, right?
Yeah, yeah. Even though I am goofy with people I know, like you said, the search for information and the accurateness of things is a little, I don't care about the rest. So we have to go directly to the information. Like, shut up, stop playing around. We need to find out this thing. And also being an observer, I think that resonates, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, I can resonate with what you said. Like, shut off everything. Give me the information. No, I don't care what.
Yeah.
This is not the time to be goofing around right now. Like we can do that later.
Yeah.
Not right now.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a time and place for play energy.
Exactly, 100%. Um, all right. Since we're talking about info right now, I want to talk about your third animal, double feminine anti-blast. I do want to talk about this in longer than the other two animals because you have NI as your triggering function and demon. So this is touching one of your triggering functions, which is NI. Now, you have a double feminine, so I'm curious to hear how you personally use it because from my understanding with anti-blast, you have a solution you're ready to provide to the tribe to solve their problem because NT is all about problem solving. And with anti-blast, it's supposed to be something that you've already organized in your NI. It's in your back pocket, ready to be presented to the tribe as a solution. However, because yours is double feminine, you're going to forget it all the time. So how are you able to remember the solution you're giving to the tribe when you're forgetting it all the time because it's double feminine and it's also double feminine, so it's also insecure. So you're not sure if you should be even giving this advice to people, but you have it activated. It means you do use it. So there's all this contradiction. I want to hear what's going on with you for that specific animal.
Well, that specific animal I thought was my last one until I received my second confirmed type. I mean, this time 2024, I received the number 4 diagnosis and then the rest of my type. And I asked Dave and Shan in my video, am I not a less? Because everything is so hard for me to start and also to finish. I procrastinate a lot, which they've attributed to being number 4 also because motivation comes and goes in swings and it doesn't come like a number 1 would, where the person is driven. So I was 50-50, meaning 50% I thought I was blast, and the right animal, which is sleep last, which I am. So the blast for me, I think because it is feminine, it is forgetful, it is insecure, which does not go well with the definition of blast, which is secure, controlling the tribe, right? So it's very contradictory. Like I said, the third animal is the hobby, right? A hobby that you have usually resonates with the third animal, which for me is blast. I love teaching. I have loved teaching through the air when I was a child. I pretended I was a teacher to those students, imaginary ones. And so I thought a lot about that. But that's because when people are interested in what I have to say, and when I am secure of my information, my known information, then when I have gathered enough SC to form the NI, and I get security on it, confidence, and then I can teach. But being double feminine, when I find resistance from the tribe, oh, then it's hard. I'm not very good at argumenting back with a person unless I feel that the person is willing to communicate, to be in a dialogue, which is different from when the person is sure of their opinion and is trying to convince you that they're right, right? So when the person is masculine in the way they talk, I find it a little hard to disagree with the person. Externally, of course, I disagree inside my mind. So I don't have a lot of stamina to keep going and prove my point until the end. There are people who love that, who get energy from that. I don't. I get energy from providing information, but not only if the person is willing to receive it.
Yeah, I mean, you're not an ENTP, so I don't see you being argumentative with the logic.
I'm sorry, I'm not
You're not
ENTP, you
an
said?
Yeah, you're not an ENTP, and those guys are, they call them the debater, right? Because they like to argue. So, um,
Oh,
yeah. So and especially a lot of them,
yeah.
they have double, especially like the double feminine ones. Maybe they have like double masculine NT, you know, like that.
NT.
Yeah, yeah. Because yours double feminine NT, right? So, um, the good thing about double feminine NT blast is it's the same as what Dave has. So when you are presenting your information, it sounds very nice and pleasant because anything double feminine is like very pleasant. It's not harsh, right? So
Good.
yeah, so that means I
Yeah.
guess when you're doing a prepared presentation where it's like, okay, Natalia, it's your turn to present to the room, and then everyone's watching you already. You have permission from the tribe to present because it's actually your turn. Uh, I think people will actually find it very pleasant
Exactly.
sounding, because it's double feminine. Oh, I think video froze again. I'll pause the recording.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
You were asking about my blast?
Yeah, I just mentioned
Feminine
that
blast?
because yours is double feminine, it's very pleasant sounding. So when the tribe does
Oh,
give you
thank you.
permission to blast, or it's your turn, let's say,
Perfect.
a work presentation or school presentation when you were younger, that people would actually love hearing your blast because it sounds so soft and friendly.
Oh, thank you very much. I have realized that I have a presentation that I have repeated a few times, which I thought I wouldn't like to be doing, but then I realized, oh my God, why was I stressing so much? In each presentation, I would have to create something new and different when I can have the same new information because it's for new people. So it's going to be new for them.
Yeah,
It's way easier for me because then I'm so trained and so domesticated. And yeah, and it's exactly like you said. It sounds when I feel confident, not on how can I say, when you didn't prepare something and you have to go out of the blue, it doesn't work well for me. Sometimes it does, but it might not, because if I feel not confident on the subject, I'm gonna be stuttering and my head starts divagate into places and I forget what I was going to say. It's hard. Like you said, the NI is not, it's a little blurry if I don't have it memorized in the realm of SC, perhaps.
Yeah, and you probably need a lot of notes also when you're presenting just to keep it
Yeah.
solid, right?
I use the PowerPoint presentation so I can read myself.
Yeah, that's gonna help for sure.
Yeah.
All right, now let's touch base on your last animal. This is the super interesting one. NF sleep. Okay, so there's a lot of dimensions to NF sleep. The obvious ones are preserving energy for self. So,
Yes.
getting proper rest. Do you get enough sleep, would you say? Or is that something difficult for you, being sleep last?
No, I get enough sleep. It's just fine for me. I don't like to sleep early. I like to go to bed like 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
But I don't have a problem with sleeping like insomnia, thank God.
Yeah, that's good. Now I want to ask about the next part here. NIFI, your reoccurring emotional patterns. Okay. So, what have you seen for yourself as you were growing up that is the reoccurring emotional pattern that keeps happening to you? What emotion do you keep feeling like that keeps coming back? Like this certain emotion keeps coming back to you, never goes away because it's reoccurring, right? And your sleep blast. So Dave said with especially with the NF sleep blast, you are gonna keep making the same mistakes over and over again because you haven't learned from the past mistakes, even though the pattern is there, and your FI is masculine, so your FI would remember the feeling. Maybe not the pattern because the NI is feminine, but the feeling for sure. Can you share from what you know about your reoccurring emotional patterns?
Yes, that the thing about the FI being masculine that you said, I was thinking about that lately because I heard of something about it. And the FI, yeah, makes the feeling be very I remember the feeling. I use that resource for my memory also. But what is hard for me is to learn from my mistakes in the way that when I'm in an experience, in a situation, I think that it's new and it's not in terms of pattern, right? So it's the same like NI situation. And can you hear me? Sorry.
I can hear you fine. It's just that your video is cutting in and out, but your audio is just fine. Oh, yeah, we're okay.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, we're okay.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, we're not okay again. So it has froze again. Yeah. Okay, we're good. All right, sorry. Please continue with your reoccurring emotional patterns and learning from your mistakes.
Yeah, so it's hard for me to learn because I try to learn it because the pain is real, the pain is remembered. But when I try to learn it, it goes away, like it flies away. It feels like a fog. It's not concrete, so it's horrible. The feeling that you should be learning something. You should put it in a bag to find it later. And like I was saying, what happens is I read a lot of books. I read a lot of books on psychology, and it was really clear to me what I learned. A pattern. The NI was very clear then. I cannot recall it. It feels like it vanished. Not that I haven't learned, but it feels so smaller than what I had learned before. It's really weird. Like, was that all I learned? Really? I don't know if I find it so simple right now, and it was so complex back then. It's really complicated. It's hard. But regarding my personal sleep patterns, things that are my reoccurring problems, it feels like a blind function to me. I don't even know what it means. I don't believe that I have sleep last because what is sleep? It's nothing for me, really. I don't feel it's like blast. I feel all the other animals that are activated, I understand them, but the NIFI, I don't understand it. It's because NI is the last function.
Yeah.
It's like it's hard because it feels like it's not there. So the processing function of sleep, which I heard of it, I don't like to present it to people because I don't want to stall them. I don't want to pause and think and say nothing because of my double activated play, I guess. So I don't know. It has the masculine of 5 for me. It's very easy to see, but the NI is hard to learn because of that. It feels like a memory problem to me.
I think the best way to practice NF sleep, in my opinion, like if I was an ESFP, is first realizing that sleep animal is all about prioritization, right? So what is the number one priority, right? And because your sleep is NF, it's about your character. So your priority is your character. And you have two choices in life. The first choice is to keep making the same mistake and keep having the character that you actually don't want to embody. Or you can choose the second option, which is there is a certain character that you wish to be, like your ideal self, and then you apply it on a daily basis until that it becomes solid, that you are this person that you want to be, right? So for example, with David Goggins, he wants to be the toughest man in the world, so he's doing all these marathons, and his NF code, because when you have NF sleep, you need to have a code that you adhere to, or a mantra. So his code is to have a callous mind, right? So callous is like, in your hand, when you have the tough things in your hand. So instead it's your
Yeah.
mind. So that's his saying, is have a callous mind, right? But every person with NF sleep, it's different, right? Like Steve Jobs, it's stay curious, stay foolish, which is good because he is an INTJ, and INTJs tend to be supposed to be more close-minded. So if you're curious, that means you're open to new ideas. And if you're foolish, you're allowing chaos to come in your life, like the SE chaos, right? From the extrovert sensing. So that's a really good
Yeah.
mantra for INTJs. So,
Yes.
Jocko Willink has discipline equals freedom. Really good for ESFPs because, all EPs want freedom. But if you are out of control, then someone will control you, right? So the only way to gain control of your life is to control yourself, and that form of control is discipline, right? And if you control yourself, no one will ever control you, so it's a good one, for sure. So have you given this any thought to what your ideal character is that you see for yourself, and what do you think is that code that you need to follow for Nathalia to become, the best possible version of herself? That's NF sleep.
Yeah. That's a hard one. Like it's a mantra, right? For
Yeah,
me, personalized.
it's a saying that will um manifest that character to yourself, and with enough practice,
Yes.
it's no longer like, for example, like I am uh I am courageous, it's but instead of saying I am courageous, you are courageous because you've done the practice enough. Like every time you are in a situation where you're scared, and then you do the thing that you're scared of, every time you do it, you become more courageous. And so eventually it becomes your character, and you yourself will see it, other people will see
Oh,
it. They'll be like, oh, Natalia's really brave, right?
yeah.
So that's an example.
Uh-huh. Well, I'm a little older, so I'm not in my 20s anymore, not in my 30s anymore. And what happens is I have learned through a lot of bad experiences, and my patterns, the tidal waves were very, very long. So like 10 years. So when it happened, it was a huge crash, not in health issues or something like that, but in our relationships, things that I was not willing to realize, understandings. I actually understood, but I didn't have the courage to believe in myself, in what I was seeing for reality and the decision that I have to take, like a leap. So I like that movie. Leonardo DiCaprio was the actor. Origins, like the dream ones. What's the name of that movie? I forgot. About the dreams.
Inception.
Oh my God. Inception, yes, because in Portuguese it's a very different name. That movie, and there is a line in the movie where the character says, "You have to take a leap of faith and to jump in situations where you don't know what's gonna go on," and that's, I think, my NI. Like, so I have to believe my FI, the character that I have already chosen for me, because my FI is masculine, right? So that it is a little more clear to me what character I'm going to have, because I have already decided it. But the courage to jump and realize it and to manifest it. And it worked, because before what I did was I kept gathering information to make the 100% right decision, and it never worked. I kept going in the same situation, inertia, and never took any leap of faith. And when I took the leap of faith, it was amazing. I didn't let myself down. I don't know if that's what you had in mind, but that made a lot of difference in my life for hard situations, more than one situation.
I think what you're describing is NI, like how you practice NI, and you did use a little bit of FI because there's fear attached to the future and the unknown. So there is it's definitely NIFI. I wouldn't say it's a code, but it could be if you say that you're the kind of person that always takes a leap of faith. Okay, you could that could be a code.
Yeah,
Yeah, that could be a
yeah,
code. Um, but yeah, I have noticed that with the ESFP types, the more I interview you guys, the more I'm learning how afraid you are of the future and the unknown. Um, and there was a guy that I was interviewing, and he said to me, you don't fuck with the future. That's what he said, right? And I think it's like, I was like, oh, is that future that scary for NI at the bottom? And it seems that way for you guys. That's why for you it's like a leap of faith. And I'm like, oh, okay, because the NI really only sees one future, so it's a little bit scary, right? It's like one trajectory. Um, as with the NE, we're not as scared of the future because we see multiple futures, you know? So
yeah.
it's like, yeah, if this doesn't happen,
What about a demon and me? Sorry. What
so what's
about
your
a demon and me? Would they have the fear of multiple possibilities, right? Possible ways.
well, our fear is the SI. So, it's not so much the futures because we see multiple futures.
Yeah,
I think the problem is there is going to be an SI gatekeeper that's going to prevent us from going the direction of our ideal future. Okay, so yes, we can see multiple
yeah,
futures, and there is the best one, but the SI is blocking us from getting the best one. So we have to protect the SI, the physical document. It could be a documentation, uh, you know, or contract, something like that, and we need that to protect that ideal future. Otherwise, then the other future possibility is going to happen, which is not ideal. So we don't like that, right? But we're not scared so much of the future because there's multiple futures, and if like every decision that you make, even the smallest one, changes your future. So it's kind of scary if you think about it from that perspective. Like
a
if
lot.
you, yeah, because if you, let's say you're trying to be fit, right? So you have the choice. You can eat the salad or you can eat the ice cream, right? So if you eat ice cream, your future already changed, maybe not the direction that you want, right? You know,
Yeah,
and then it can snowball because, like, let's say you eat ice cream, now you feel bad about yourself. So you're gonna stay indoors because you don't want people to see you because maybe you gain some weight because you eat the ice cream. And because you stayed indoors, you didn't go to the gym or exercise. So now your fate has changed again. So every small decision changes the future. So that's how any kind of is. Like we can see the multiple trajectories, right? Um, but like I have SF sleep, so it's kind of similar as you. So I have like value systems, but yours is like a code, while mine is like a value itself. Like for me, for example, like courage is one of my values, right? And growth. So it's SI. There's like an exact word for that value, the FI value, and then I just follow that, and then that's gonna make my FI stronger. right? For you, it has to be like an NF statement, right? Like discipline equals freedom. It has to
Yeah,
be like
it is not so clear. Yeah, it's something more a category of something, but with
yes,
the end.
yes, 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 exactly. Um, now I want to touch on another thing about you in regards to sleep last. Okay, you are also flex last. Okay, so sleep activates flex, and because you are flex last and sleep last, your number one coin in the social type is like extremely unactivated, like no activation almost, because if you don't use your sleep, you can't use your flex pretty much, right? Um, can you share the difficulty with, you know, motivation, drive, because of sleep last and flex last?
Yes, I have a difficulty. I never thought I had difficulty with drive, but the fact is I do, because I achieved some things in my professional life that contradicts that. But the thing is, I think I was well externally motivated so I could go and do the thing. And so I found ways to incorporate that identity. And the flex for me is like it's a demon. So it's actually, it comes in swings, right? So I think I got those swings and I played the swings like a game, like a video game. And I used them for my benefits. Like when I got out of the movies and I saw 007, for instance, which is, I don't know if it's flex, but it felt very powerful and characters that were very powerful. What I felt is, I'm that one. I'm gonna get out of here and I'm gonna do everything that this guy does, like in workplace, not the energy, the NF of it. And it gave me a little bit of confidence, but it died so very shortly when I had to use it in difficult situations. But I think that I used it. I managed to get some things in my life that made me think I was number three because I was very driven, but it's not that. Just that it was a little, I like specialization. I use it, right? It's the second part of point of number four. But the flex thing is the confidence. I think it's the motivation, regardless of what people think, of what people are saying, of the energy you get from the tribe, of the energy you get from the surroundings. So if the environment is not good, it's too competitive against you. In my case, I do not go well. I tend to go inward, to get sad, to get a bit depressed. And I can even present some results, but I feel really bad. So I have to find places where I where my pretend flex happens. Like they said in sports, for instance, in tennis, I get trophies. I am proud of my trophies. And why? Because in sports, it's like a game, it's like a play. It's not real as much as in the workplace, which I take seriously. I think it's dangerous. I have to be alert all the time. I don't like to, oh, this is something important. I don't have flex, so I don't like to flex my value at like people do. And I feel really envious of people who can do that, like to go there and say, I'm good at what I do because of this, I'm doing this. I don't like to waste my time doing that and showing my things, my achievements to people when I can be improving the achievements themselves. So there's some resentment there.
Yeah, I think listening to what you're saying from a number two perspective, I have flex third, right? And friends second.
Uh-huh.
So when I'm thinking about what you're saying, I'm thinking, oh, I don't have a problem telling people what I'm good at because I don't say it long enough that it becomes cringy or kind of gross, you know? Like, and I'll also double decide it always. So for example, um, I can say something like, oh, I'm good at coaching people, but I'm really bad at paperwork. So it's like I can tell you what I'm good at, and I'm also what I'm bad at. So it's like I flex, but also say something bad about myself about like some other skills I'm not good at. So it's like, okay, no one's gonna get like annoyed because you said both, right? If you always say both, it's okay, but if you only say
Yeah.
one, it's like, if you only put yourself down, that's bad. But if you only praise yourself, that's also bad. So you always like need like a middle, right? Um, but
Yeah.
I
You
can
double
give
the side in a
sorry.
way.
Yeah, yeah, you can use double the
You
side.
double the side also. Yeah, as an analogy also, because flex and friends is also the cider points in a
Yeah,
way, right?
yeah. That means you are an observer that has very decider social type, and animals.
Uh, I'm an observer that has.
You're an observer that has a decider social type and also a very
Yeah, I thought I could be a decider because of that. I thought I was a decider in a way. I knew I was an observer, but I have decider problems. How could that be?
yes,
It's
and
the number
also
four thing.
your animals is also decider like because your sleep lasts. So sleep is also a decider animal. So you're missing sleep or your sleep last. So decider problems, and then your social type 4 and flex is last, which is decider also. So you're gonna might have a little bit more decider problems than the traditional ESFP. So
Yeah.
yeah, and maybe you could share that with me. Have you had quite a bit of people problems in your life as a result of all these factors, would you say?
Yes, I could be a decider because everything they said about Shannon Dave said about deciders, sorry, about observers, I thought, but I'm not so, uh, I care about what people think. So it's weird because I didn't feel so like, I don't care what they say. I'm just myself and I don't know. I knew I had clear observer problems, like all the observer problems, fear of ghosts, fear of traveling, and lots of things. But fear of going to the doctor, which is very observery. So in that part, I'm very observery. But when it comes to the description of paying attention to what people are doing and seeing if they are thinking of an opinion, having an opinion or judging in a way, I'm very aware of that. I'm very concerned with that, much more than I would like to be. Of course, I have improved a lot, but because I'm older also, but it has been hard for me. It's not so easy. I wish I could not care about people problems. And my people problems would be, I think, aggravated thinking because of me being an observer. So I say things uh, in a way that doesn't care so much, like shows that I don't care so much. But actually, when the person doesn't like it, I care. When the person is my friend, I'm afraid of losing that friendship. Or when I treat some person I don't know in a way and they look in a way as if they're giving me some judgment. They don't like what I did. They are judging my character. It's complicated for me because I'm always aware of what people are, I don't know, thinking or feeling about me. So there is that. It's very decider-like, I think.
I think from what I'm hearing from you, it's you do have a lot of decider problems. I think because you're a double-sided though, you are able to solve them. But it doesn't change the fact that the problems are there and they do bother you. It's just that you're not a true decider, in which case they cannot solve the problem, or they have trouble solving it until they're maybe much older. You are able to, it sounds like, find a solution for it. Just because you are not a true decider.
Yeah, in a way, sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I can see the other person's perspective, which sometimes is worse because I know what they might be thinking. And so I care too much about what other people think because I'm fast in this back and forth thing,
Yeah.
like you are also. So I think of my perspective and the perspective of the tribe, and then I can see the whole thing, and it bothers me that way.
So Natalia, since this is interview is about yourself, and we're gonna wrap it up pretty soon. I do want to ask you, what do you want people to know about you? You know, like, so if you have to flex, or if you if you want people to know something about you, what would it be? Or is there something that we haven't discussed that you wish we discussed that we can discuss right now?
About me, what I would like people to know is that I I have multiple sides of myself, like everybody does, but I sometimes show only one part, like everybody else also. But I'm a very curious person. I am sometimes I am, like I said, seen as serious, but I'm not. I'm playful. I like information, but I am open. I am feminine in a way, more feminine than masculine. So I am friendly. I'm a number 4, right? This is what I would like to give and to give to people now. And what else was I gonna say? I'm very interested in learning more about this OP thing. This is why I watch your channel. And I love your explanations because they are so easy to see, and it goes deep into the animals, into the type of the person. It sees multiple uh, points of view of that person and from people. And what I would like to talk about briefly is what I was talking in the beginning, like the S and the N thing, like when and about the leap of faith, right? And I wanted to know about you. Do you have the same decider problems that I have, being an observer, sleep last, and number 2?
Yeah, it's a little bit it's different from you in the sense that number 2 is more of a observer social type because we have the flex and the friends in the middle. I do have a lot of decider problems because I'm sleep lost and I'm super crackhead personality type, like play blast, you know, consume sleep. So um like double all in the tribe, you know, like for you, for example, your first animal is actually consume, so it's self, right? And then the play blast in the middle. But for me, it's like first one is tribe play, and then blast is play. Or sorry, blast is tribe also. So 2 tribes and then 2 selves. But I've always actually seen it like especially as I got older, I saw it as actually very helpful because the swings are so intense. It's like double tribe, double self, double tribe, double self. You know, and because there's double self, I can like it's more concentrated when I have time for myself. Well, in your case, it's not concentrated. It's like self a little bit, tribe, and self a little bit again. It's like it's kind of like disjointed, you know? So it's kind of hard to really form
Yeah.
a solid flex area just because it's so disjointed, you know? But because for me, it's like, okay, all in the tribe, then I start feeling resentful or feel like I'm neglecting myself. So I go all in myself. And when I say I go all in myself,
Oh,
I'll be like, for example, this year I'm traveling for 1 year. So I'm basically barely seeing the tribe. So it's all in myself, you know? So 1 year to develop myself, right? And then, you know, but before that, it's like 1 or 2 years, 3 years, all the tribe, right? But then because I have so much concentration with the self, I'm able to really develop my character, my flex, you know, or else if you're like doing like a little bit at a time, you're not really seeing the growth, right? Because it's not enough repetition in the self, you know, so or the others, depending on what the issue is. So I think that's how I personally experience being a number 2, play blast, consume sleep, EP. My problem is probably going to be similar to you though. At the end of the day, it's still being controlled, not having freedom. Like those are still the biggest problem. You know, so there's the decider problem, but they're never near as bad as the pathway problem, you know, like that we have as
yeah.
observers, you know. So um and ultimately, like for you as an ESFP, it's discipline equals freedom. I think for me as an ENFP, it's routine equals freedom because SI is a physical routine, right? So
Mm.
physical routine equals freedom.
Yes.
So it's, but the cool thing is we can use both. I can also use discipline equals freedom, and you can also use routine equals freedom, because like those are both helpful for our archetypes as EP to, for us to see the biggest growth in regards to having that life that we actually want, where we can be the happiest. But we have to, Dave said this earlier in his older videos, you need to have a payment plan. So it's like pain, right? PAIN. So instead of payment, it's payment. So he said it's better to have a little bit of pain every day, and then have one big pain, So like going to the gym or eating the healthy food, like those are all small pains, right? But like it's worse than having the big pain of like having major health issues, right? Like cancer or diabetes or something, or and this isn't just like health, it's also like could be finance, right? Like having discipline with your finance. So putting away a little bit of money every day might be painful because you want to spend your money to buy something else. um Especially you double masculine SF consume, so you want to buy a lot of stuff, but like, but if you have the payment plan of saving the money instead, you won't have the big pain of being broke or bankrupt later on, right? So it's like, small pain every day is freedom.
Yes, in my case, it's funny that you mentioned money because I don't have a hard time saving money in a way.
Yeah.
What I do have a problem with is going to my bank account, sitting there looking at the money and organizing. That is really hard for me. So I prefer not to spend than to have to go there and look, what do I have to, oh, I have so much to spend on this, so much. I do have to have the discipline though, because otherwise your money is just, it could be there, it could not be there, it could grow, it could diminish. And so, and your other question regarding what I would like to discuss was the question of intuition and sense. What in the older videos from YouTube that Dave and Shem have, Dave was a little harsh on S, meaning he even uses an example like there are several models of mobile phones, right, cell phones, and the SE goes there and look for idiot details about the phone and chooses one based on scams, on people selling. And the N is the intelligent one, the person who goes there and sees the overview and chooses the best phone because they don't fall for scams. And the video is still there. So I think later they changed the way they presented the sensory people. I think intuition is more advanced in terms of intelligence, but it made me, in a way, be not want to be close to Kim Kardashian because she's an ESFP. I don't want to be that. I was never popular in that way. And so I couldn't see myself. And so for people who have not been typed yet, being sensory dominant is not bad. I'm a lawyer, so I use facts to prove the point in the end. I must use the facts to differentiate two situations. So it's not a sign of non-intelligence. It's just a different way of seeing the world or talking.
Kim Kardashian is really smart. I think people like see her as doing all these dumb things on TV, but are you a multimillionaire like her? You're not. Everything that she's done is planned. Okay, like that. Even a TV persona, that's planned. That's all manufactured because they know that's gonna get attention, which is gonna, and attention equals value, right? So and she's the number one probably. So like yeah, everything's manufactured. So you might think, oh, she's so stupid, she's saying all this stuff. I'm like, you're stupid because you fell for it. Like, like, don't you know this is a TV persona that she used to become rich and famous? Like, she's smarter than all of us, okay? Like, so, and that's actually a good description, a good way to see an EP use NI because they planned it. NI planned it, and then they stuck with the plan, right? And she does a sleep savior. She has NF sleep savior, so that helps a lot.
Yeah,
So
she's a mopey.
she doesn't make mistakes like the sleep loss ESFPs do, you know. So it's more calculated from that perspective. Oh, I think the video froze again. Okay, so Nathalia, can you hear me?
I can't. So
You can hear me now, right?
I can. I'm gonna open the door to see if it improves. Just it's on. Okay. I'm back.
Okay. So I just want to say we'll wrap up the interview here. So thanks for coming out and sharing more about your life and your experiences as this specific type.
Thank you very much for having me here and for doing this interview, and congratulations on your work.
All right. Thank you. All right.
It
Take care.
was a pleasure. Bye-bye. Thank you.